What's up everybody, Ryan Kaufman from Taxi Garage here today, and today we're going to go over installing your Anderson clip connectors on your newest either Taxi Garage 500 watt motor upgrade or our awesome 1000 watt Crazy Cart XL upgrade. So you'll notice when you get your kit, you'll notice that on the motor harness there's a side that does not have the Anderson connector installed, and you'll notice that we send the clips separate in a little baggie with the rubber boot. And so the first thing we want to do is go over today what needs to be done to properly install these. So sometimes we've had the case of where they come in shipping and you'll see that this terminal is bent up or something along those lines. The first thing you're going to need to do is confirm that this terminal is completely flat. So you'll want to take your finger and just bend this front shovel portion or this hook, because this is the hook that actually holds it into the connector right here, that portion right there. So you're going to want to bend that down just to where the hook is almost lower than the surface of this body of the terminal. So then the next thing you'll want to do is, once you've done that to both your terminals, you can see this one's really far up. We just kind of exaggerated it here for the video so you guys can really see what needs to be done. Obviously they almost never show up like this because we do package our products very carefully and keep all these things in mind. And we bend this terminal back down to where it's flat here and the hook is lower than this portion of the surface. So once you've done that and you've flattened these terminals, straightened them out, you're going to take your rubber boot. You're going to, well, obviously you're going to need to slide this through the chassis, fish it through where you need to so you can connect it to the new Taxi Garage controller that's supplied with your kit. And then from that point, when you have it on your cart slid through the chassis, you're going to take this rubber boot and you're going to slide it onto the wires here. Sometimes a little twisting action helps it get over those black and red wires where the sheathing starts, and you can go ahead and push this back to give yourself a little more clearance, because when working with these you'll definitely want it to get a good grab onto these. Now that you've got your rubber boot installed and pushed back and you've given yourself a little bit of working space on these wires here, you're going to want to take a look at your Anderson connector. And you're going to notice here, I'm going to talk about it and the thicknesses of these sides here. So the orientation that I'm holding it here is the way you're going to need to hold it when you're installing the terminal. On the east side here we have a skinny thin wall. On the south side we have a thin wall. West side thin wall, or thick wall. North side thick wall. So this orientation is to help you understand which way this terminal actually gets inserted from the back of the connector. So this hook portion needs to be facing the south side, needs to be on the bottom thin portion of the south side. And the terminal cannot be installed off axis. It needs to be flat with the bottom of the south side of this terminal entrance, or this connector right here. So once you've done that, you want to slide the terminal in from that edge. And once you've done that, you can wiggle it a bit and you should see, here we go, we're trying to get it in the light here for you. So you should see the terminal itself actually coming into view from the front of the connector. So once you see that terminal coming into view into the connector, you know it's in the correct location to go ahead and force it past that little locking portion to get it into seating onto the terminal. So what we do is we recommend a flathead skinny screwdriver, and what you're going to do is once you get this terminal in here, you're going to push on the edge of the end of the metal terminal. So it's a good little pushing point. So I'm double checking that my end is fully in there, and I'm going to push this there, and here you go, you can hear the click. Boom. Now we know that this connector is fully seated with the terminal. And what another good thing to do is to double check is pull it forward, pull it back, make sure this terminal doesn't come out from this Anderson connector. So we're going to do the same thing on the red terminal, on the red connector, and we're going to look at it and hold it in the same orientation. On the east side, you want the skinny side. On the south side, skinny side. On the west side, the thick side. North side, thick side. So we all like talking about thick and skinny. Was good. So this right here, same thing. On the south side, you want the hook portion to be resting on the south part of the entrance. Then you slide that in and you go ahead and flip it over and confirm that you can see that portion of the terminal coming into view from the front of it. Once you see that little tip of that terminal starting to make its way into the connector, that's when you go ahead and spin it around and grab your little flathead screwdriver and go ahead and push. Oh, you can see I've lost it. Now I've squared it up, and you're going to go ahead and push on the end of that terminal. And it does take a little bit of fiddling. We do recommend, just taking your time with this and not rushing it, because this is the #1 thing that you want to pay attention to when doing this job, because everything else is basically bolt on and plug and play, but this portion is a bit more complex. So you're going to see this one slide up now that I've pushed it through, and you're going to hear it click. Boom. Now I do the same thing. I pull it forward, pull it back, yank on it a bit. I can see that it's now fully seated into the terminal, and it's going to have no issues making complete contact with the other controller's Anderson connector. So the last thing you're going to want to do is key these together. You can see there's basically a keyway here with a little tall ridge and then a little shallow trough right here. You can see the opening is on the black side of the connector, and you're going to want to slide these in. And the orientation that we use on these is always the same on every cart, every kit that we sell. It's bottom left is the red connector, bottom right is the black connector. So as long as you stick with this orientation that you see right here, you'll have no issues when doing your install. So once you've gotten those keyed together, you'll go ahead and slide your rubber boot back up front, get it slid over both of those hips, yeah, and boom. You've now fully installed all the wiring that you need to do for this motor. So this is definitely the one thing you're going to want to watch when doing your 500 watt or 1000 watt video or install. So definitely thanks for tuning in today, and like and subscribe all of our YouTube videos. We're definitely trying to make some more great content for you guys, as well as install videos for the Crazy Cart. So stay tuned. We have a lot of new products coming out and more giveaway codes and discount codes on our YouTube. So definitely stay tuned. Thank you guys. Have a great day.